Oops. I get you plugged in too. Confound it. Mm-hmm. You can stay there if you want. Oh, you like the rain? I just need, I don't have to have it all closed, I just need the one side closed so I can, it doesn't show up on the screen there.
It's okay, I can go to the bedroom. Need to grab a snack anyway.
Okay. I see you, not me. We're public? Am I public now? Ending stream? Now this is strange. Am I on a different stream now? Is that the idea? Which is telling me I'm on a completely different stream? Yeah, it is. God, floggin'. I am having a bad day today. Okay. Very well. Let's bring this up, I guess. I don't know if this is working at all or not yet. Hi. Okay. Yeah. Hey, look at all the wonderful setup today. Okay. This is not working for me here. So here's what happened. I had set up a scheduling, and apparently it had listed as private. And then when I switched it to public, it's like, oh, well, now I'm not connected to your streaming software anymore. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, golly, I guess I'll have to adjust. And then I went and started went to fix that, and it said, oh, it's fixed, but it didn't fix it. It actually just created a new live stream. So now I'm on the Eccentric Nature live stream without topic. So I guess I can talk about anything now instead of what I was planning on talking about. I can rename it afterwards. It's good to see you guys anyways. Mommy and Kimberly in the house. Woohoo! Love Surf Bunny and food forest permaculture. Good to see you guys. How are we all doing today? I hope your day's going a little smoother than mine. I have been like, I did my workout this morning as scheduled, so I stuck to that and I did good. Here, let's make sure Mr. Pooh shows there. We want to see him. He's cute. Same thing over here. Gonna hide that curtain as well. Here, you can see Eeyore too now. Okay. Now, so I did that. Good to hear you're great, Mommy and Kimberly. And after that, I kind of just lost it. I was already feeling a little bit and not like sick or anything, but just feel a little bit off when I went to go do my workout this morning, and I thought maybe the workout will perk me up. Sometimes I get there and it works, but no, that didn't help. And then after that, I just kind of slowly declined until I was like laying on the couch, feeling like I should just fall back asleep again. And finally, we went to go set this all up, and things didn't work right. But we're here now, and you're here now, so that means everything's great. Yay! That's the important thing, right? That we all are here together and figured it out in the end. I mean, my lighting's on and everything's looking good, so, that's the most important part, right? Okay. So, yes. Good to hear Love Surf Bunny is doing well as well. you're cooking, but we'll watch the live stream in full. Oh, thank you. Well, you can watch and cook at the same time. We do that a lot. We'll put movies on while we're cooking and just chill out and enjoy. On the food bank for more abundance. Yes, you got a great food forest there. If you haven't seen Food Forest Permaculture, check him out. He's got, that's, the dream of a lot of people is having a wonderful big old food area full of bushes that are full of food. It's very nice. So, good to see you, Howie. If you guys haven't already hit the like button, I think a lot of you have, but just so you know, it's down there. Let me see here. Ooh, let's do this for fun. Do. Oh, what's gonna happen? I just had fun and I switched where my banner is going. Ta-da! Exciting things today with the OBS. Oh, look at that. Should probably just stretch that across the whole banner. We'll have like one of those tick streams like they do on the news, and I'll just have nothing but like my figures running across it or something like that. I think that'd be fun. Okay, so we got to get back on topic. My brain is still kind of racing from everything that happened. So now that we are here, we got to get back on it. It's 5 p.m. here. Yes, we're 5 p.m. here in the UK right now. A little early evening before supper time. So, yeah, we'll do my live stream, then I'll go have some dinner and probably just lay down and watch a movie or something because my brain doesn't have much energy tonight, apparently. What? Raw. So, the main thing I was wanting to talk about today, if you saw the initial notice of the main purpose of the live stream, is what it is it worth it being a YouTuber? Yeah. And that was my main idea for today. Actually, let me bring up the thing here. I'm having fun with the OBS and getting to learn how to use it better, and I think I'm getting much better at it. The more I use it, the more often I use it, I get better at it every time. But I still run into things like this where I'm like, think I've got it down, I think I'm going along, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you didn't schedule this right. So that's the trick about live streams, it's very easy for things to suddenly go, oh, you think you've got it right, but they can just go off. So when you, especially scheduling the live streams, I've noticed I've had the most trouble with that. In that I like think I've got it down, I think it's ready to go, and then next thing I know, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, you forgot about this. And so boom, there I am struggling to get the stream up and then putting up the stream without all my tags and all that stuff that you're supposed to have on there to make it work right. And oh well, but here we are now. And here's the topic. Is it being a YouTuber worth it? Is it? Is it really? Ah! At the moment, I can kind of feel like no. Just because of my troubles. But that's okay. That's all part of it. 9 a.m. in California. Yeah, I knew I tried to schedule this a little bit later my time, but not too late because once I hit dinner time, I tended to just be like, oh, let's shut off the YouTube stuff and just relax and have a good evening. And kind of separate from that world. But I try and schedule it as late as possible so I can get, the UK and the US crowd involved, if at all possible. Good morning to Brainstorm Makers as well. Woohoo! And so yeah, that's the main idea. So I wrote myself a mini pros and cons list. If you guys want to chime in with what you think some of your pros and cons are on the comments, that would be awesome. On the comments, which are that way, I think. But my first thing let's just start with the positive one here. So one of the main things on the positive ones is it's great for the community. Obviously, there's lots of great people you meet here, and you get involved with lots of different channels, and you get to explore new worlds, and even if it's in stuff that you already know that you like and love, it just gives you new ways to do that and engage with nice, happy, positive, wonderful people that are out there. And, I think as being part of the community, we all understand the things that go into it, and that's part of what makes it fun and enjoyable, is to create those connections and essentially create a whole new friends and family network online. Yeah, good to see you guys agreeing. I think it's worth it that sometimes people need to be more supportive and positive. And it's like, yeah, of course, there's always going to be people out there who aren't that, unfortunately, aren't as supportive, aren't as giving and nurturing as the others. And I wish, they were all wonderful like that. Looking at my ugly curtain here. Go away, ugly curtain. Had some string hanging out. Can't have that now, can we? There we go. That's better, right? That looks good. Haha. Anyways, back on topic. And then there are the others. Yes, as Brainstorm Arcaker says. Yes, we're talking about the others. And luckily, I have not had too much trouble with that. But it's, the second you get one of those, it can instantly just pull your whole feeling for your channel down, or feeling for that particular video down. I know early on I had somebody on one of my Basil videos tell me like, oh, you're just, you're too crazy, calm down in your videos, and you're like too I didn't use the word chaotic, but he was like essentially saying, yeah, you're too energetic, just chill out. It was like going. And then after that, it's one of those things that you can instantly react to that and go, no, which no, but you need to just be like, no, wait a second, that's my style, that's what I'm promoting, and everybody else says they love that energy when they see it on screen. They love the way that I engage with things, and so to have that one person say that, you have to just step back and go, no, my community likes that. If you don't, that's fine. Give me the dislike. It still counts on my video. See you later. Have fun. But that's who I am. That's who I like to be. And that's the thing I love about YouTube, is it lets me be this way. Because naturally in real life, when I engage with people in public, I tend not to do this as much. I tend to be a lot more reserved. I tend to be more like this, where I'm like, okay, let's just talk and chat about things. Yeah, that's cool and whatnot. But I tend not to find reasons or means just to be a little bit more out there, And yeah, I'm glad that I have the YouTube channel to just kind of let me express a little bit more in that sense of my own personal nature. My eccentric nature. That's part of the reason the channel is called that. Eccentric nature. It's not just about the eccentricness of nature. It's the eccentricness of Eric's nature. Yes. Okay. So now you get a little bit more idea about the hints behind the name of why I call it this. So the inner workings of eccentric nature. And exactly, that's the whole thing, Love Surf Bunny, is everybody has their own way of doing things. And you have to enjoy and find that for yourself if you're going to be a YouTuber. You have to find what makes you feel good when running your channel. Because otherwise, if you're putting something up there that you're not connecting with, and you're not like, oh, this, feels completely unnatural or feels disconnected to me, that's going to read through on the screen, It's like we talk about as actors. It's like you have to find a real and honest way to connect to your character that makes sense for you in order for you to become that person. And if you don't do that on screen, then it shows through. It'll show through every time. The audience may not be able to pinpoint exactly the reason why, but they will see it. You will go to those characters and go, there's something off about them. I just don't like that character. And, that's because the actor missed something. And, so there's a difference between you going, I don't like this character and I don't like this actor. There's that difference. And it's the same thing with YouTubers, where it's like there's a reason between like, okay, I don't like the way he's presenting this, and I just don't like him. And it's like, yeah, there's always going to be people who just don't like you and just don't like your presenting style. But people who see my channel can't say that it's not produced well. They can't say that my style doesn't work for what I'm doing. It all makes sense the way it's all put together. And that's what you have to find as a YouTuber in order to make it worth it to you, I think, is that you find those ways to make it honest for you, which makes it real for the audience and makes them connect with you. So for me, this is a bit of my inner nature. This is a bit of really who I am. And so this is me being honest. So so if I'm being a little bit like woohoo, yay, that's my Muppet dance of derision from the coming out from the inside, okay? And that's who I am on the inside. I am, a crazy little Muppet that loves to dance. So so it's like that and that's what I like to present. So yeah, people can complain about the kookiest things, and you can only keep up a fake persona for so long. Exactly, yeah. People will see through it, and it's like, those people out there who are all about the glitz and the glam and the fakeness, and why people don't like them. It's that we see through it, and we know that you're just putting up this front, and that's not who you really are or who you really want to be at heart. It's because of your fears or from your stresses or whatever is causing it that's making you go out there and go, oh, I need to be something other than what I really think I should be because the society wants me to be this way. It's not who I really am, but they say it, so I'm going to go with that instead of what is me. And yeah, I think that's one of my main things with YouTube is obviously understanding that for one, because that's going to make you more comfortable on camera and it's going to make people come to you and it's going to make your channel grow, and that's going to part of what's going to make you feel better is that people are honestly connecting with you and are giving you more positive comments because of just being who you are. And for some people that's going to be more laid back and chill, and some people it's going to be more like me. I mean, I'm thinking of like my man Dan right now from what's his channel? You got Dan from Mississippi. Why am I buzzing his channel's name? Do you guys know it? Come on. Dan, what's your channel name? Totally buzzing Dan's channel name. Gosh, for schniggity. Does anyone remember what Dan's channel name is? I have to go through my list here and see if I can find him. Yeah, but a lot of the people I connect with are that way. I think of Jim from Green Jean Project. He's a little bit out there, and I love that. That's like me. And let me see here. Maniac Grammy. She's pretty laid back and cool. Dan Permaculture Food Forest. He's really laid back. Nona Grace. She's just who she is, and she's just presents that on camera, and she's not afraid to come and go, oh, I don't have any new topics today. It's okay. I'm just gonna talk about this and. Yeah, so everybody, Home in the Sticks, that's the one. See, I knew if I scrolled down here long enough, I would find it. Home in the Sticks, Dan. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you put it up while I was scrolling down. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, Dan has this great Mississippi laid back drawl, and I love him to death. Yeah, I lived in Mississippi for a short time, and yeah, I just love that way of being. And Dan just is totally cool and chill. And that's his way of doing things, and it's awesome. So, yeah, you just find that for yourself, and then you'll find your community, and you'll find those connections, and that's going to be awesome. Let's go to one of the cons. Oh, the cons. I think one of the big ones for me is the time commitment. And this is a relative kind of thing, because it's a matter of how much you want to put into the channel and how fast you want it to grow, and things along those lines. Because if you want it to grow really quickly, you need to put a lot of time and effort to do lots of different things. One, you have to learn the new skills. You have to, if you want to have a channel that's going to grow and look better and engage better with the people, you have to learn the analytics. You have to learn what other people are doing so you can kind of mimic it in some ways, and you have to learn the trends so you can connect with people. I've been actually not even very good about that, but as far as what's the hot herbs in the community or hot things that are people like wanting to find out about these days. And starting to try and do that, but it's something that even I'm not doing good yet. But it's also then learning all the different things about this stuff. Like it's me learning this live streaming stuff, which has been driving me nuts off and on. It's learning about how to do editing for the camera. It's learning how to set yourself up in a camera and be in the right position in the frame so you're not shooting yourself and it's like, oh, hi, yeah, I'm talking, but half of my face is off of the screen right now. You know? It's knowing where to be on the camera so you are in the frame properly and you're not just like, oh, I've suddenly got off camera and I am showing all the ugly stuff behind me. You know? And it's all those little things that go into it. It's all the different YouTubeisms you have to learn. It's all the different videography things you have to learn, and editing things you have to learn, and music things you have to learn if you want to add that in, and graphics. I mean, there's lots of different things that can absorb your time. Plus, they also just the engagement of the community. It can take a lot of time. You can spend all day long watching other people's videos and connecting with people and getting them to connect with you. These things can take your whole day. And I have literally spent weeks and weeks going through and doing non-stop YouTube all day long. And it can easily just take your whole time if you want to put the kind of effort in to grow your channel very quickly. And even then, it can be difficult because of one of the other cons on here is you have to learn marketing. I mean, if you want your channel to grow properly, you have to learn how to market your channel properly to people. You have to learn how to sell yourself, and you have to learn where to sell yourself properly. And it's something that even as an actor in my other career, I have a hard time doing just because it's not a natural thing for me at all. I naturally like, just let me go do my job. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do it great, and I can give you that. And search engine optimization, yes, SEOs, oh yeah, all that stuff you have to figure out. Yeah, and you can do stuff without a script like this. That's the whole reason live just lets me go off script and just go into all these tangents and fun bits and enjoy going into another world and seeing where I end up, you know. And it's so unusual for me because if like you meet me in public sometimes, I'll just sit there and listen and I won't say a darn thing, you know. I use Instagram and Twitter to do marketing for the channel. Yeah, and exactly, it's learning how to do that because I've tried doing some of that and I haven't been able to get anything working where I advertise on Twitter and I get those people to come up over here. And Twitter has been, I practically don't use it anymore because I like tried and I'm like going, I have no idea how to get people to engage on this. And and it's like I'd have to go, I even did like some little courses and stuff and I couldn't quite figure it out, you know. And maybe I could go back and, you know, now and actually figure out, oh, okay, this is how it works. That's what I need to do. And it would work. But, you know, my history with it hasn't been that good. I've been better about growing my Instagram and I have connection with that. And I know I have some of the same people on Instagram that I do on YouTube. So if I advertise on Instagram, I could very well find people to say, hey, come on over and watch this stream. So, yeah. Make a picture of, yeah, I heard about that as well, and I tried doing that, and yeah, it's just, I find it so hard to get extra people to find you and just actually that will click on the link and stuff. So I've had the darndest time over there. You've had a little luck on Instagram, Brainstorm Makers, do a bunch of pictures and flowers and buggies and veggies, yep. And yeah, I've had more success over there as well. I find that I get as many, it's the funny thing about Instagram compared to YouTube is that I find that I get more views on YouTube in the long term, but in the short term I'll immediately get more views on Instagram than I do on my videos on here. And but then after that there's no backwash where like people like will find your video a year later and watch it and still continually, you know, get views and views and views. On Instagram, it's basically once it's gone, no one's gonna scroll that far down your stream and find and watch it again, kind of thing. I could probably like relist a bunch of my older videos on Instagram now and just redo them because of the fact that people haven't been watching them. It's like, yeah, but Instagram again is it's just a whole nother bear. That if you want to try and market your videos, you have to learn that too, because it's its own algorithm. Like Computer Chick says, it's like you have to learn how to do hashtagging over there, which I've had worked on as well. And thank you for Love Surf Money. Yes, I do work on making sure I have lots of scientific facts backing up, especially on the benefits. You know, it's like I am not officially a scientist or an MD or anything like that, but I am a very good researcher, and I do my due diligence, and I find all the information I can that's out there and try and bring you guys the best information that I can on those. And so, yes, I always make sure to look at those, and especially with the history and the mythology as well. I put lots of time into those to look up all that information and find it correctly. And it's nice to hear that Computer Chick has some videos coming up in searches. Excellent. Yep. Can put a picture on Instagram for seasonal topics and reuse old videos. Yeah. That's why I haven't done that yet, but I was just thinking of doing that because I've been on there for a while now. And I probably could easily go back and go, oh, let's repost some of these old videos now, because people probably haven't seen a lot of them yet. And yeah, it'll just be interesting to see how they do now, and to repost them all. I mean, essentially, you could probably like create 2 years of Instagram content, and for 10 years just recycle those 2 years over and over again. I'd be interested to see how that works, because I bet you somebody could build a channel doing that, just doing non-stop replaying their same ones again over and over again. Oh, cool. See? I am doing things right, apparently. You love Surf Bunny? Thank you. Researching about health plants for some years. Excellent. Yeah. Let me go on to another thing on the list here. Another pro that I like about doing the channel, and especially when I'm doing my channel, and this is a specific one for me, I think, is I love learning things. And so the channel has given me a great ability to be able to learn lots of new information and to learn even more about herbs that I love. And I mean, I know tons more since starting the channel about the benefits of herbs and the history and mythology of herbs and like all this stuff that I've been learning about them. And yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's what I try to appeal to, is the people who like that information and like those details and like to have that accuracy. That's what I think I try and bring more than a lot of other channels that just kind of put blanket information out there sometimes. I try and give those firm details. But yeah, for me, that's part of the fun, is learning all those things and learning what is accurate and what isn't accurate and being able to bring that to people. And I love filming because I'm an actor, so, you know, that part of me is very much satisfied with doing YouTube and be able to do these videos. And essentially, it's great for me if for presenting roles. So, yes, exactly. There is some seriously bogus info out there. I totally agree with you. I mean, part of my research sometimes on doing these videos is researching what other people have done on them. And that's part of the reason, like, I didn't actually do the history of chocolate like I did the history of vanilla. I was like, oh, why don't I do the history of chocolate too? I went out there and I saw a wonderful video on it. I'm like, well, not yet. I'll save that one because that one's been covered really well already. But I did vanilla because I saw the other ones that were out there on it, and I'm like, there's not very good ones out here on that for some reason. And so yeah, I went to that one first. And I did the orchids one because I love orchids, but otherwise I've been sticking with the herbs. And I'm getting on a tangent again here. But yeah, the filming, I loved. I also love doing the script writing. I know a lot of people like the Computer Chick Productions was saying she just likes going and doing things unscripted, which works for some people. I mean, obviously, if you're just going and do a garden tour, that doesn't have to necessarily be scripted either. You know, or depends on your topic a lot of times. But for these, considering I'm bringing historical information, I'm bringing scientific information, I feel I have to script them to make sure I'm not quoting things improperly, I'm not saying the information incorrectly. and it also makes it much easier for me to script them, and then then go and edit them later, because it makes me know exactly what shots I'm going to use. It makes me know exactly the clips I'm going to use. So like whenever I do those insert videos from different movies and stuff like that, I plan that out beforehand most of the time. Sometimes I'll think of them on the day, but most of the time I go, I'm writing this down, and as I'm writing it, I'm like, oh, this came to me. I'm going to use this video in this point. So yeah, that's kind of stuff that always comes up to me while I'm writing the script for the most part. So scripting for me is great that way, and I've always been good at writing and enjoy it in some ways, but I'm not like a natural, writer where like I enjoy being a novelist or I enjoy being a script writer. If I find the right topic that I really want to talk about, then I'm happy to write about it and a lot for a long time. But it has to be the right thing, and that's why I love doing this channel, is I love writing about these things. So yeah, you guys do a combo of scripting and free form. Yep, we don't like to have to correct mistakes too often, so we do have to find our facts ahead of time. Yep, exactly. So that's the main thing about scripting, I think, is so you do have that information and can go, okay, yes, I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, and if and as part of my business anyways, it's always easier to have stuff scripted, so that if when you do want to go off script, it's easier to do that, because you have the information known and set and solid. I think that makes it easier sometimes for me to just suddenly go, oh, then I just thought of this to add in as well, and I can bring in new things as well. So yeah, it works for me, but it's again, it's all just a relative thing. Some people it won't be your thing, some people it will. You enjoy it as well. But then for me also, the music and editing, I've enjoyed doing those. I knew how to edit before I came into this, but I've learned so much more about doing it. I still haven't learned a lot about the graphics programs. I mean, all the graphics I do are still just out of Final Cut, and they have, like, I bought Motion thinking I would use it a lot for the purpose of my editing the videos, to add fun graphics and stuff in. But man, that thing is complex. And I feel like I have to do a course or a couple tutorials on that and spend like a couple 40-hour work weeks in order to learn how to do Motion and feel comfortable with it and be able to start doing it quickly. Because I tried doing a couple things in Motion and did use a few out of there. But man, the amount of time I put into the graphics in there to what came out was just, it didn't feel worth the time I put into it. Whereas the graphics I'm doing and have been doing, they take a little bit of time, but it's not nearly as much time as it would from the complex, really sexy ones in Motion. And I think that brings me to, I'm going to segue really quick before talking about the music stuff and into one of the cons, because that makes a very big one. That's one of the possible cons, is if you want more time for different things, then money comes into play. If you want your channel to grow faster, if you want more time for these things, then you either need to hire somebody else to do some of them, or you need to hire a couple of people. Like the bigger channels, they've got several different people working on their channels with them. It's like one of my favorite channels, which is the Super Carlin Brothers. It's not just the Super Carlin Brothers anymore. They got like, I don't know how many people working with them now, but it's quite a few. And there's a couple of the really big channels we follow. There's the on-screen personalities, and then there's a team of people working behind them that are getting paid as well. So, all this stuff that I put into mine right now is all me, which is why it takes so much time. But if I was going to be continuing to grow and I started getting, 10,000, 100,000 followers, I would hire somebody to take some of this off my plate, or start adding in more exciting graphics or different things, because of the fact that it is so time consuming and it does take so much effort. That just means that I would have to transfer some of that time and energy into money. And it's the same thing with marketing the channel. If you want it to grow faster, doing ads and stuff is apparently a good way to do that. And I have started trying to do that as well. And I'm probably going to do a little thing on my thoughts on Google Ads and different things like that in a few weeks here once I've ran them for a little bit. Because so far I'm like, I am not entirely sold on what I've been doing with Google Ads. It's tough because for a regular channel like mine, just going and advertising a video compared to like what a lot of these cheeky buggers out there are doing, which is saying, oh, okay, I want to sell something to you, which, is a lot of what the advertising videos, that's the hardest thing I've been finding when researching this. Again, more time, more research, is I've watched a lot of videos and they're all about like, oh, well, this is how to promote your website or the product that you're going to sell on YouTube or different things like that. And it's like, I don't care about that. I just want people to watch my videos. How can I just do a Google ad for that? And I found some stuff on it, but man, it was tough. It was hard to find because most of the tutorial videos out there are more focused on, how to do, marketing because you're trying to sell this channel, to sell things on the channel or, sell products on the channel or, and whew, crazy. Yeah, so much out there involving that. Yeah, it's not a necessity, but as you go along and you continue to grow it, I think it is something that has to be added in for, continual growth or exponential growth to start occurring. I think one of the other things that I need to start trying to do that I've known about for a while, but just haven't found good ways to approach people with yet, is doing more collaborations, so bigger channels can advertise me, and that hopefully will bring a lot of people in. Just the two of you, exactly, just like me, brainstorm makers. Seen a couple ads for YouTube channels, and they're sort of odd, not well done. Yeah, I've seen lots of different ads for YouTube channels. Even like the ones for Grammarly will show up sometimes. They're like a pretty, well-known company as far as advertising. And they've got lousy audio, and it's like obvious they didn't record it properly. And it's like, this is a Grammarly ad. Come on, people. But like a lot of times you'll see that with people who are like, they're obviously trying to just promote their channel or something, and they don't know how to do it very well. So... Oh, excellent. Fresh cheese sandwich and a latte. Yes. Grilled cheese, I presume? Is that what we're doing? If it's going to be just cheesy sandwich, I'd say go grilled cheese, man. That's the way to go, right? I'm actually thinking, I just ran out of water, so I'm going to grab my other drink here real quick. Backup drink. Woo! There we go. Backup drink. And then I dry out really quick when I'm doing these, so I like to keep well hydrated. Oh yeah. Woo! That was an exciting moment. Ooh, Eric left the frame. What happened? It's a cow cheese with salt and pepper. That sounds like a good idea. Yep. I'm a big fan of seasonings of any kind, so I'm a huge salt fan, so I always try and find new ways to add salt in. Anyways, so what were we talking about here? But yeah, the marketing aspect, again, that's just another marketing aspect when you start spending money on ads that you have to learn about. That's just like, wow. Especially for my brain. I literally will be sitting there in front of the computer some days just like, and then I kind of have to pull myself away and be like going, you've just fried your brain on Google Ads, so you need to get away, step away, find something else to do for a while before going back to it, because you're just gone. Yeah, those are like, but beyond that, I mean, those are like a lot of my major ones. Another one of my positive ones is the music, because I've always been a big music person. But in an odd way, because it's like I'm not a musician. I do have an accordion and I do play that, but I'm not like terribly great at it. I know a few songs and that's about it. But I've always had a real close affinity with music, and before I became more of an on-screen actor or even a stage actor, I did a lot more of sound design for theater. Was where the main thing I started on. And so, yeah, I was doing a lot more of that compared to what I am now, which is more acting aside. But that's part of the reason I also love doing the channel, is it really gives me a chance to do lots of fun things with music, and I've always loved doing that. So, but it really harkens back to what I used to do with sound design with shows, and I would create essentially like new soundtracks and scores for a stage production, because I considered it much like a film, that you have to have a completely immersive score for a film that has, you know, your sound effects, your music, that has the underscoring, all is all part of it. So, and yeah, gets kind of what I do with my channel as well. Good to see you, Bloom. Good to see you, sparkling glitter. Woo! Why so sexy? You're the sexy one, glitter. You got the glitter, the sparkle. Yes, Love Surf Bunny right before then was saying YouTube ads, that people on YouTube say that ads work, but I never had made a campaign. I'm curious to see if it works. Yes. I won't go too much into depth in it at the moment, but I have had some success, but not like massive anyway, because I've had like a lot of views come in, but low watch time, and not a lot of earned views, which means concurrent views. So people like watch that one, then they go on to watch another one, or they subscribe and do things like that. So I haven't had a lot of real engagement and a lot of comments or anything like that yet. So I mean, this is all on small scale. I mean, it's like $2.50 a day for ads. It's not. If I had the money, it'd be interesting to see what I could do if I could put in, like, you know, $100 or £100 for a week's of ads, and see if that really helped, you know, the channel, not just with views but with subscribers and things like that. Because that's the other thing they say to do, is to advertise a channel, is don't just put up one of your videos and advertise that. Create a channel video that you send out to people for people to subscribe to your channel. And it's like, yeah, well then that's a whole nother level of work that I have to do. I have to create a brand new one of those. So I had one when I first started my channel, but it's really old and it doesn't cover the exact topics anymore, so I definitely would have to create a new one. So and that's I think that's another one of the pros and cons of running a live stream, Love Surf Bunny, is that you have to remind yourself how many things you know and how many things you're good at, and just how impressive that is. I mean, everybody has multiple talents at the end of the day. And to run a YouTube channel, you're basically part of what makes you successful is you're working off of multiple talents. So I think everybody who's got a YouTube channel is expressing the fact that they've got these multiple talents that they're using all at once, and I think it's impressive and it's amazing and it's wonderful. So yes, I think that's always important. But it's the same thing in life, that to take the time to be grateful for these talents that you have, and remember that you have them, and be like, yeah, I actually do have these talents and I am able to use them. That's awesome. And because, you know, sometimes people kind of forget about that about themselves, or they just tell themselves, I'm like, well, I just kind of know this and that's it. And it's like, well, not really. No, you've got so much more to you. There is so much more there to you. Just express it and go with it. And that's the thing I like about YouTube compared to like a lot of other things, is that that's what people do engage with, is they do engage with you being who you are and are crazy. And that's, you know, me and my eccentric nature. That's what they engage with, is me being and they like that. And that's why I like you, because you don't mind that I'm like this. So and so it's like that whole loop, and that especially a lot. It's in the UK as well, but in America, one of the huge flaws of the education system and just the social system as we have it right now is that we socially tell people that they need to be something different, but at the end of the day, we all need to be who we are. And so there's a big conflicting thing out there of like a large percentage of society is like, no, you need to be different in this way and this way and this way, physically or emotionally, or, you know, with the things you buy or the way you look. and all these things, you know, you have to be different than what you are right now. And it's like, that's not necessarily true. What's important is engaging with who you are and making yourself the best person you can be. And that's the important thing, is being the best person you can be, not being a sociopath or a psychopath. Being a good, you know, being who you are, that is the best person in society that isn't ruining people at the same time. You know? Going out there and being the best person you can be. That is my message. Is, yeah, you can go out there and be really good at something, but, you know, like a lot of our political leaders, it doesn't mean you're a good person. I mean, there's plenty of genocidal maniacs that we've let run countries out there. So, hey, let's get back on topic. Okay. Do you know if you need to pay for the ads campaign with PayPal, or you need a credit card? I can't remember how I've connected up at the moment. I have to go back and look. I think you do. I think I did give them a credit card for Google Ads, but at the end of the day, I think it's also these days it might be that you can actually do PayPal, because it is so much more universally used. But I'd have to look that up. I don't know offhand if you have to actually have you can just run a Google Ads account off of PayPal. I do know that they don't charge you up front for it. There's another there's another ad service called Spizzy that actually does run Google Ads for you, and it's apparently a lot more user friendly. But it's basically the same thing. It's them just running Google Ads for you. So, but they are paid up front, whereas Google Ads is after you've ran ads for a certain amount of time, that they'll, at the end of the month, they'll charge you, or after you reach a certain amount, they'll charge you. So, yeah. It's just it. Yeah, it's a little bit kooky as far as that's concerned, but yeah. You know. So yeah, that's, at the end of the day, it's like, there's things you have to sacrifice to do this, you know. Yeah, Facebook ads require an add-on file, okay, and you pay at the end of the campaign. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that about Facebook. I haven't tried Facebook ads for a little bit, but so it'd be interesting to see how that works as well. So, because yeah, the Facebook ads is another thing you can do and you can try. I suppose I could be successful as well. I'd be interested in it, I suppose. It's another thing I should try. But I just I did it once a while back, and that's it. So I really need to look into it again. But I think that's the main thing about being a YouTuber. Is it worth it? You know, if you're enjoying it, heck yeah. And it's just a matter of how much effort you want to put into it as far as growth is concerned, and just keeping that realistic. And in your, and that's a lot of it too, is being realistic about where you're at and how fast you'll grow. You have to keep that in mind as well. You've lost some good buys like TubeBuddy and VSDC Pro Video Editor because it is mandatory to have a credit card. Okay, yeah. There are still plenty of services that do require a credit card, so yeah. But as far as, now I'm reading comments and now I'm losing my my thought. I think, so I was saying that it is important to keep things in perspective, yes, and keep things in your head while you're thinking about these perspectives. But for me personally, I always have to keep in perspective, because I do very much have this fire to try and have the channel grow, but I have to keep in perspective that getting like say 100 views in the first 24 hours, or 200 views in the first week or something along those lines, is still a good thing for me. And I still have to keep in mind that to build up to having 500 in the first hour and 1,000 in the first week or something like that. Can happen, but isn't necessarily as quick a timescale as probably some other channels are, because the content I offer is very niche. I've done the Google Keyword Planner as well to find different hashtags and things like that. And the number of people searching history of herbs isn't that huge. Okay? It is a very niche market, which is part of the reason it's easier for me to dominate it. Yes, I can easily dominate my niche, but my niche ain't very big. So, but the important thing is, at the end of the day, is like, if, every single one of those, depending on the hashtag, 100 to 1,000 people that are researching anything about history, mythology, or whatnot about herbs, every time they search for them, they find me, then I am freaking doing my job right, okay? And that I am being very successful, and I have to keep that in mind, that it's like, okay, I look at my hashtags, and anything I put in for history of a particular herb, so if I say history of basil, basil history, basil facts, I am up there in the top 5 every time. And that is a freaking awesome thing. Okay? And I have to keep that in mind, like, yes, that is successful, that is awesome. And if you're running your own channel, that's what you have to keep in mind. Is like, okay, if I am running something very specific off of Roblox, the Roblox country dancer. If you are the master of Roblox country dancing, then if you look on YouTube and put in Roblox country and you show up, boom, you're successful. You're the #1 Roblox country dancing person out there. So keep that in mind. If that's what you're looking to be successful at, and you are the one that people are looking to when that information comes out, then yes, that is awesome. At the end of the day, yes, I want a slightly broader community that just engages with them because it's fun and interesting information, and that'll make it easier for me to be monetized, and I can grow faster that way. But I just have to remember that what really matters is perspective of the numbers. That I have 2,150 subscribers, I believe, at this point. You are subscribed. I know you guys are. And you all have liked the video, right? I see only 4 likes, but I've seen like 7, 8 people blowing in and out. So, like button, please. Like. Bouncy likes today. Bouncy like. So yeah, you have to keep those little things in mind, that if you only have 2,000 subscribers, probably getting only 100, 200 views on a video is still good, because generally 10 to 1 or 100 to 1 or whatever the ratio is pretty average for YouTube. That if you have 1,000 subscribers, on average you're probably only going to get the 100 views, if not less, depending on how engaged your community is, or how because it is easy for them to forget about you if you don't put out tons of videos every week. I'm just doing the 2 a week, 1 live stream and 1 regular video a week right now, which, there's channels out there doing it every single day, and they keep you much more in the forefront. And if you're not in the forefront, they always say, oh, then it's going to be harder. And it's like, well, quality is more important than quantity. But still, it's all connected to, at the end of the day, what matters for me, which is keeping in mind my successes, and that I have been growing, and that I am still moving up that channel, and that I will eventually either stumble upon them or figure out ways to connect with the right people that will promote me and advertise me, and then bring lots of more people into my channel, and it will just start growing exponentially, because that's the biggest thing to get to. And if you're trying to grow a channel, that makes it very tough, is going from 1-to-1 growth of just connecting with the community and having them watch you back and you're watching them, and doing a lot of that back and forth, and that's enjoyable and that's fun. But at the end of the day, the channel's not going to keep really growing if you're just doing a lot of 1-to-1s. You can't do that with 1-to-1s with 2,000 people, with 3,000 people. Okay? That's why exponential growth is more important. That yes, I can sit there and I can answer all the comments on my stream. Hello, hiding in the light. We're just talking general YouTube. Is it worth it being a YouTuber? Which is supposed to be the title down there if it weren't for technical glitches earlier. But really, that you have to find a way to get exponential growth. So, do one-on-ones? Okay, did you typo there, or am I not understanding what you're saying? Let's do one-on-ones. What are we saying? So, yeah, I see people doing sensationalist BS that's all is a lie, and they complain about the burnout. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of channels out there that look to just steal growth. That either you have all these channels that are like going, I grew to like 10,000 subscribers with no videos. And it's like, what's the point? Why? Who cares? It's not getting you anything. You can't, I mean, are you going to get advertisers off of that? You shouldn't. I mean, are you going to get, you're not getting any connection off of that, obviously. You know, so, but yeah, they're out there. There's weird bots out there and different things like that. That for somehow, I guess, apparently that it has some kind of success for them. I don't know, but it's kooky. But for all of us as regular people, if we're trying to really grow our channel, I think the main thing is that you find a way to get exponential, and advertising is one of those ways. I think another big way is, doing the shout outs, they say, is a one way to do it. So that's kind of what I do on these channels as well, as, every time someone comes on, it's like, yes, Hiding the Light, great channel, woohoo! Try and do things like that, and, just like talk a little bit about channels, and, but it's then finding ways that you do what the other thing I was talking about, which is collaborations, or find ways to have bigger channels mention your channel. That way, all the people watching that channel, that hopefully a good percentage of them will come over to your channel and then suddenly go, hey, I'm going to subscribe and like this guy, or you get a lot more views that way. And yeah, it's all that marketing, all that crazy marketing that drives me insane. Wah! What you were saying? Oh, you're joking about what I was saying. And then I had to turn the video off. Okay. And Brainstorm Maker. So what kind of luck did you have on collaborating? Because this is something that especially with the live streams, that I've been looking at doing. I've been looking at trying to start contacting some people and going, okay, let me see about doing some one-on-ones with live streaming to see if that can, create a lot of buzz and a lot of connection, or talk to a couple channels and see if we can do something between us to collaborate on a video somehow. Which for me is like, again, it buzzes my brain, because I'm like going, how am I going to create a video with someone when it's regarding the history of something, or of this herb or that? And it's like, and so my mind just doesn't put those things together naturally. And it's kind of like I need to just contact channels and be like, hey, let's do this. And it's like, I don't know how. So you got to tell someone just planted some black bamboo. Oh, okay. You got some press about that. Okay. Oh, I got to tell someone just planted some black bamboo. Oh, that's always okay. I'm just reading the wrong thing. Right. You just planted some black bamboo. That's awesome. I didn't even know there was black bamboo. Is this just like regular bamboo? It's just black? Is it like got different properties? I got to know about this now. I'm gonna have to look it up afterwards. By collaborating with other channels on a topic. Oh yeah, that's why I tried doing that a while back, where you do one of those collab hashtag things. And I did that, like, show me your herbs hashtag, like early on with my channel, to try and connect with other channels and get people to do videos on the same topic. Yeah, but very contained. After a few years, it turns black. Oh, fun. Okay. That is cool. I like it. Yeah, doing an herb collaboration of some kind. Yeah, trying to figure out how to do that somehow. And I tried doing like the one I did wasn't terribly successful because I think I only had like 4 channels do the one. Or it'd more have to be something along the lines of like going, okay, I know there's some big channels out there that have herb gardens as part of their bigger gardens. And trying to be like, okay, how do I get them? Either maybe I can just get them on to talk about their herbs and how they grow their herbs and their, or how do I, get, and then maybe because of that they promote me on their channel or different things like that. So it's just all stuff to me that like I'm happy to hear from you because yeah, it blows my mind, man. It just, I don't know what to do with it. I literally do need people to like tell me sometimes, oh, you should do this with this. And they're like, yeah, of course, that makes sense. People growing different herbs, cooking with them. You can telling the uses and history at the same time kind of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like I just find other people with, bigger channels who grow herbs. And then I could be like, okay, let's connect with them. So, yeah. We can work with you on that. Nice. Okay. Should I throw a smiley up for that? I haven't been re-commenting because I'm the one sitting here talking. Woohoo. Boom, boom. There you go. I'll throw a couple things on there. Bam. Is it working? There it goes. Woo. Okay. So some big channels won't touch the little guys. Yeah, it's relative because you can't. I think you can't go too big. I think like for my little channel of being 2,000 people, I have to go, okay, I would feel safe talking to channels like up to 50,000 or maybe even 100,000. But once you get beyond that, they're more of a business at that point that it may be a lot harder to get them to collaborate with you or talk with you. Yeah, definitely. Again, see, the ones that are closer to your range are definitely ones that are more receptive. But if you can get one that's slightly bigger than you, then great. So it's like, if I could get a 20,000 or 30,000 channel to collaborate with me, that would be spectacular, because then hopefully that should bring in lots of different people out of their 10 and 20,000, 30,000 to me. So that's why collabs are supposed to be so huge for you, is you do enough of those, then those cross communities will then all become communities for you, not only them, but for you, and create a larger community out of it as well. And yeah. So yeah, collaborations I think is for YouTube growth is one of the biggest ones as far as I understand it. I mean, I think that's part of the reason, like I always go back to them because as far as YouTube growth is concerned, out of the channels I've known since I've started this, the Green Dream Project is the one that I saw go from 1,000 subscribers up to like 10,000 subscribers where they're at now. And part of the reasons they have done that is they have done some collaborations with people. They're doing this massive green studying summit right now. That's just, it's incredible. They're doing tons of different interviews with tons of different channels. And I mean, that is a massive collaboration they're doing right now. That's so impressive. So, yeah, I mean, if I could get in just a little bit of that, would be like huge for me, I think. So, yeah, stuff like that. Or creating those kind of things. But I think for my lives, that's something I'm going to look at doing in the next couple months. Is like, I just got to get over my little fears and go, okay, I actually need to talk to somebody about that now. And go, here's the people I'd like to talk to, and just put out a couple of messages out there. Hey, I'd like to talk to you on camera. Come on over, let's do this. Are in totally different communities. Yeah, exactly. And it's not necessarily that they should be. It's that just for some reason there is a larger community. There is a large community out there of people who like gardening and herbs and cooking and all these things that are related, but they are in their own little groupings. There is absolutely no reason I can't go from 2,000 to 200,000 subscribers necessarily, because of the fact that there is enough people out there for it. It's just a matter of how do you get your channel in front of these people, and then therefore then they connect with you, and that growth happens. There goes that drink. Okay, so woohoo! Yeah, I once I start talking YouTube topics, I can just ramble on and on. But if you guys are cool with that, then I'm happy to be talking along with you here. But yeah, I think that's the main thing I need to do, because there are a couple people out. I mean, even them themselves. Is I'd love to just talk to Jim and Jessica in a Skype session and see if I could get them connecting with me that way, and do a live stream with them, because they are so awesome and they know so many different things. And I don't know, I haven't, out of the videos I've seen, I haven't necessarily seen them grow herbs, but I could definitely just talk to them about their project that they're doing, because they've got so many different things they can talk about. They have less than 500 people, yeah, and it's, and as I said, if you don't want to exclude people, because collaborating with channels that are 500 isn't a bad thing as well, because it's like I've done some like other little collaborations as well, where this one that was not exactly on my topic, that was done by Grandma Sandy, but I ended up connecting with a few people from that, and that did bring in some new people to my channel. So it's like, it's not to say that smaller collaborations can't help as well. I'm just talking, if you're going to start getting into the exponential growth where people are talking about your channel and you are not the only one bringing viewers into your channel anymore, that happens because you can start connecting with lots of different communities, and then you start creating a buzz where people actually go, have you seen this guy yet? Oh my gosh, you got to go see him. And that sharing starts happening, and that engagement happens because there's a word of mouth happening about you. And that's what can easily start taking you from 10, just 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000. And that doesn't happen without leaps and bounds of growth, where you can't just do what I've been doing, which is 1 year, 1,000 subscribers, 2 years, 3,000 subscribers. Yes, you can do it that way, but if you're growing a channel is your primary purpose, do you want to take 5 years to get to 10,000 subscribers? I don't. Yeah. I'd much rather look for those bigger channels to bring into mine, so I can grow a little bit faster. And because I think that's what they always say in business as well, is like, find a way to work smarter, not harder. And YouTube is no different in that sense, that you have to find ways to make your job easier and make it work even better. Content is, yes, you're so right, Sparkling Glitter, the base, the end-all be-all, the I-Ching of your YouTube channel is quality. And that's why you look at my videos, it's all about the quality. I screw up on that sometimes too. I look at my video occasionally and like, oh, the quality is not as good on that one. That's what drove me nuts about my History of Lavender one. It managed to come out looking okay, pretty good, but compared to the crispness on the actual video quality on them, it wasn't quite as good, because of the fact that I used a different shooting app for that one, because my old one had gone defunct, and they hadn't released the new one yet. So that was a whole bear of evilness. But yes, the content is very important, and you just keep going, and you will continue growing. Like, I do have some videos that are being suggested now, which has been huge for me. My largest video on my channel right now, bar none, is the benefits of sage tea. And that is solely because it is one of the few videos that is on the suggested list for YouTube. So on the sidebar where they suggest different videos, that's one of my only videos that YouTube goes, hey, watch this one next. And that has gotten me so many views. So I have been actually looking recently into more ways of doing that as well. That's the other big way of getting growth, is getting suggested videos and getting YouTube to promote you itself without you having to pay for it. So I have been doing a lot more research on going, okay, and there is a particular system for how to do it. I just watched a video on it the other day, but I can't remember the name of it, of what they call about how to structure your description and your tags and all of this stuff in order to get yourself suggested on other videos. And I've tried doing it on a couple of videos recently, and we'll see if it works. I don't know if it takes time or if it can happen pretty fast, but it'll be interesting to see if it happens, because if it starts working, I'll start doing it on every single video. And the main thrust of the idea is this, is that if you're doing a video about something. So I'm doing a video about the history of lavender, and I look up lavender history or anything along those lines, and I look at the top 5 videos and go, okay, who has the most views that is on this topic? I look at that video and I see, okay, what's the name of it? What is their description say about it? What does their tags say? What tags do they have about it? And what you do is you structure your video to have as much of that information in your own tags, in your own description as they have. So then when the algorithm sees it, they go, oh, this video is pretty much about the same thing as this. So if they like this, they'll probably like this one too. So they'll stay on and they'll keep watching. So that's the main thrust of the idea, is that you mimic their video, but you make it slightly longer than theirs. Is part of one of the things I heard, is you make a slightly longer, you'll make a better video than theirs. So is also important. Like you said, sparkling glitter, better videos. And then you just mimic all the rest of the information as much as possible. Obviously, you don't want to plagiarize it necessarily, but you get as close to that as you can. Because you have to, because the algorithm wants it. So, yeah, you do all those little things, and then they'll go, okay, yes, we will promote your video. So I've been working on that. We'll see how that works next. But yeah, all that good stuff. Woo! All right. How are you guys doing? I'm getting a little tired here. So, like I said, I was tired to begin with today. The only reason I'm jiving and I'm feeling all right now is because I've been chatting with you guys, and you've been making me feel energized, which is nice. It's been good. But if you guys are good, I think I might head down the line here. Once I hit an hour, I usually start going, okay, should I just stop now and just move on? And I think I might get to that point here. So I think I'm going to sign off here, y'all. Take a good breath. We'll get some more water, maybe some tea. I think it's time for some tea, yeah. Maybe some wine. It is late here after all. It is after 6 now. But you guys have a great day. If you haven't already, please watch my history of lavender. Please watch my benefits of lavender tea. And then coming up this Sunday, we've got the benefits of lavender oil. So we're covering a little bit more about lavender here. And then I'm going to be going on to a couple different videos after that. I'm actually going to be covering the top 15 herbs for anxiety. And then I'm going to be talking about the top 10 herbs for sleep after that. And then I might go back to the mythology of lavender. Or there's a couple of buzz topics about some herb stuff that I'm looking at. And I might get some of those done first afterwards. So keep in touch and we'll let you know what's coming up. But that's what's on the plane right now. Hope you go see those and enjoy them. For now, see you guys later. Have a wonderfully eccentric day. Woo!